Hello. And welcome to the end of Jenny LeClue, the Detectivu.
Dad?
Her voice echoed in the darkness.
I'm sure nothing bad will happen. Kind of look like PS5s. So this is where they've been all along. This is why there was a shortage. Interesting that the ceiling is still like a cave ceiling. I guess that's kind of fair. Oh. I don't know anything about construction. Hello.
Another dead end. Of course he's not here.
Just another machine.
What if the dad, or what if the machine is our dad? That's a picture. That's new.
Arthurton,
Okay.
a small town seemingly like any other, nestled in a valley between two mountains, lined by lustrous forests, and perched on the edge of a pristine lake. Yes, Arthurton had it all. A main street with shops and a place to sip coffee. Schools, a college, a church, and a police station.
Right.
The kind of place you might find anywhere on your travels. But you
I
won't
forgot about
find it
Agatha
anymore.
Christie's.
For Arthurton is now the town that disappeared.
Huh?
Where once stood a city bustling with life, now lies an empty crater.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. Are you implying that the town we've been in this entire game has gone missing from normal real world?
How could a town suddenly and completely vanish from the face of the earth? And if it could happen to Arthurton, could it happen to your town too?
What?
Scientists are baffled.
So,
Church attendance is at a record high.
okay, well,
Is this
cool.
a sign of the end of days?
Sure,
Tonight
yeah.
we attempt to answer the question.
Did they were fucking with interdimensional shit. Did they send Arthurton to another dimension that is nearly identical somehow?
What happened to Arthurton? The Enigma Report investigation starts now.
Is this why Berenstein Bears is spelled wrong?
Jenny stared at the screen, astonished.
Arthurton? Disappeared?
It didn't make any sense. But of all the strange things she'd seen, one stood out more than the others.
There was something at the end of the tape.
Hmm. Is that Matt? The gravedigger? Looks like him. Oh. Okay. Oh, wait.
There! There's something hidden in the static.
Yes, yes. Okay. Father? Is that you? Papa? It worked. Find Zazer. Need help. Oh, fuck. Wait, hold on.
Dad! You
What the fuck?
It worked. Find Zazer. Need help?
Okay. Uh-oh. 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 I missed the thing that was on the ground because I thought I could get it after. Run! All these PS5s, they're gonna get crushed. God damn. It's not what it looks like. Hello, sir. Oh! I mean, there's no way we could actually fight him.
Stay away from me! I know what you've done. I'm not scared of you, you creep.
Ah! Stranger danger, stranger danger, stranger danger. Oh god. That was really close to our head.
Backed into a corner with nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
If only we can move three-dimensionally.
Was this the end for Jenny LeClue?
What? Did he hit in the head? Cool.
What the?
What the? Oh, it was you. I thought you hit in the head by one of the falling rocks. I was like, well, that's convenient. Oh my god, they saved us. Holy shit.
Susie? Keith? You came back!
I had to.
Jenny choked back her tears. She had lost count of the number of times she'd almost died today, and it was starting to take its toll.
Fair.
Let's get out of here before he wakes up! No, wait! Keith, this could be the man who killed your father. We should really go. This could be our only chance to find out who he is.
Just pull the hat off.
It won't matter if we're buried alive. Don't you want to know?
It doesn't matter.
What?
Look!
Whoa! Sir?
Damn it! Let's get out of here. That's what I've been saying. The truth is no good if we're dead. I said that too.
It doesn't matter who said what. Let's go already.
Run. Wise withdrawal.
Our three intrepid adventurers made their escape across the graveyard on the far side of town. Behind the twin peaks of Arthurton, the sun began to rise, but this night had not yet ended. Beneath them, the ground shook and grumbled. Deep in the bowels of Arthurton, something stirred.
Uh-oh.
Jenny recounted the thrilling story of her entire adventure. She told Susie and Keith about Professor Zazer and his experiments. The truth behind the tragic accident in the mines.
Damn, he's keeping up.
And how she discovered that her father was alive. But she left out one critical detail. The town that disappeared.
Oh, fair.
How would they react to such an unfathomable revelation? Would they even believe her? She wasn't sure she believed it herself.
What an incredible adventure. Although,
Totes.
I think the greatest discovery today has been our friendship.
Huh.
You never stop, do you? All these trials have really brought us together. And now that you and Keith are friends again, we can form our very own mystery-solving club.
Hell yeah.
It's just a shame we didn't unmask the man in black. So what's our next step, fearless leader? There's something about this case that still doesn't add up. I need to find my mom.
Yes.
before the
Yes,
cops
yes, 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 yes,
But
yes.
she could be anywhere. No, she's gone to Widow's Drop.
Where?
Finally.
Widow's Drop. but I have no idea where that is. It's certainly not on any map I've seen.
That's because it's not a place.
Huh?
Yeah. It's a plant. My dad he grew one in his greenhouse. He had to separate it from all the other plants. They all started to shrivel up.
It's all coming together. Evil parasitic plant?
Have you ever felt a flash of pure inspiration? The sudden feeling of everything falling into place. It's the moment a great detective lives for. An epiphany.
Kapow!
Keith, what day do you take out the trash?
What?
What day does the garbage man come?
Friday? Why?
Of course! It was right there the whole time! Jenny! I know where my mom is.
Jenny!
And
Look at the...
I know who killed Dean Strasberry. Jenny! Look out!
Watch where you're driving, child.
Jenny! Watch out!
Nice.
We survived!
Yeah! We made it!
I have to go back.
Phew. It's a good thing Ginny learned how to psychically open gates like that.
Go back?
But we just got out!
A little birdie told me I'd find 3 unruly kids
Fuck.
out after curfew.
Oh no! Damn.
Stealing, breaking and entering, destruction of property. You're all in a heap of trouble. Jenny, can't say I'm surprised to find you here. But Keith, Susie, I expected more from you.
I'm ruined!
Sheriff, this is Station. Are you there?
Go ahead, Station.
Susie, Keith, I need you to create a distraction.
What?
There's no time to explain. Where are you going?
Get some
You
widows
just have
drop.
to trust me.
Okay.
No.
Mhm.
Susie, please. No, not unless you say it. Say what? After everything we've been through, you know it's true.
Say we're friends.
What are you talking about? Now is hardly the time for this. You told me to stand up for myself, so that's what I'm doing.
Hold on a second. Enough chatter. Get your sorry butts over here now!
We depend on each other. Admit it, Jenny.
Come on, Jenny. It's not a big deal. Just say it.
This is your last warning. I am not gonna tell you again.
Of all the challenges our tiny hero had faced, this was perhaps her toughest.
You aren't alone, Jenny LeClue. You don't need to pretend anymore.
As hard as it was to say it, Jenny knew deep in her heart it was true.
Friends.
Fine. Susie Glatz, you are my friend.
Yeah!
Thank you, friend. Now, let's get you out of here.
Yeah, I've got him. Safe and sound. I'm bringing him in now. What the?
You'll never catch us, copper!
Come on, Keith. You
Sorry,
can
Mr. LeClue.
pedal fast in that.
Well, do you have them or not?
I thought I did. Where did she go?
Ha 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 ha. Picking up a few tricks. Nice. We've already gotten like 3 achievements just in the since we started. Ooh. Well, hello there, Mr. Strasberry. You're looking awful orderable today. Oh shit. Oh! We're gonna inject him with the green! Whoa, what the fuck? I swear to God, if he's alive. Holy cannoli.
My head.
Thank goodness. It worked.
Mom? What did you do?
How wonderful to hear your voice. I was having the strangest dreams. What's wrong?
I almost didn't make it.
But you did. Now, we've got a lot of work to do.
The fuck does that mean? What is going on?
I knew it!
What the hell is going on? Ah, the noise.
Jenny?
Jenny? Surprised
Ha
to see me?
ha.
I am only a child after all.
What is she?
How did you...
It was really quite simple. Once I realized Mr. Strasberry knew he was going to die.
Tick tock. What proves the dean knew he was going to die? It's the spoon, obviously. This one, for sure. Uh-huh. 1 p.m. lunch with Keith moved to Tuesday. Oh my God. Not 100% about this one. Because I don't remember what was on the note in his pocket. So at worst case, it just tells us we're wrong.
The dean died on Thursday at 3:57 p.m. precisely. In his planner, I noted that he had canceled his meetings on Friday and rearranged a lunch date with Keith. At the time, this didn't strike me as unusual. Once I considered the possibility that Mr. Strasberry knew he was going to die on Thursday, everything started to fall into place. But consider this. If someone knew they were going to die, wouldn't they do everything in their power to escape their fate? And yet, the dean didn't. There was only one explanation. He staged his own death.
What proves the dean staged his own death? This guy. Purple. Field guide. Fascinating flora. Choose. This stuff. Think it's this. It's kind of one of those like Ace Attorney things where it's like I know what happened, but like I don't know exactly what order it wants me to answer the things in. Okay, cool.
When I discovered the dean's body in the library, his apparent cause of death was electrocution. However, I noticed strange marks covering his neck.
Yes.
His face was discolored and his skin was shriveled. Earlier that day, I found a microscope in Mom's lab that had been recently used. The remnants of a strange green liquid undulated on the slide. I would guess the very same liquid that Mom just injected into the dean's neck. You knew how you were going to die, Mr. Strasberry. Poison. You knew because you made it yourself from one of your plants. A poison that you had an antidote for. That would be the method, but you couldn't work alone. You needed an accomplice.
God damn.
Someone to revive you when the time
This is all
right.
really crazy though. Oh, the gloves. Don't forget to wear the gloves. Yeah, that I would have assumed that the microscope was like skippable too. Anyway, wait, what was the question? Oh, Mom and the Dean were working together. I mean, this steps out because like they were talking about him wearing gloves and doing this or that, but this is definitely one of the things. Sure. It's obviously the pigs. Is this, or is it the conversation with CJ, or it could be this? Actually, because oh man, I'll just do this. This is the first ones that popped up. Okay.
In the basement of my house, on my dad's old dusty desk, I found a recently used vial.
Honestly, the fact that I haven't gotten anything wrong is like giving me that like, what if you can fuck this up and it just doesn't tell you got it wrong.
The residue was
Vibes.
purple, the same color as the marks on the Dean's neck. This whole time, I thought Mom had met Mr. Strasberry at Widow's Drop. But Widow's Drop isn't a place. It's a plant. The plant you extracted the poison from.
I like that he smiled when we like figured that
You
out.
plotted together to stage Mr. Strasberry's death. It was a simple scheme. Poison him with the plant, then return after the funeral to revive him.
But why?
You had intended the death to appear natural, but not everything went according to plan.
What went wrong with their plan? Well, we definitely got in the way. That's for sure. One. This. Doesn't matter what order I do it. Okay.
After the poison was administered, the Dean intended to give Mom his ring. But he accidentally dropped it, and it got stuck in the electrified track of the ladder. When he bent down to retrieve it, he was electrocuted and thrown from the balcony. Earlier, the Dean had told me he was meeting Mom in the library. That was a mistake. If I hadn't gone there to find Mom, she might still have escaped before the police arrived. Getting caught hadn't been part of the plan.
Quite remarkable, Jenny. And you worked out all that by yourself?
She's a LeClue after all.
That's how you did it, but the real question is why?
Well, that's all a bit more complicated, I'm afraid.
It was a rhetorical question, Mr. Strasberry. I know why you're working together. But first, I have to tell you about aliens.
Arthur? Are we cutting back to him? Yeah.
Oh, this is exciting.
I like that Arthur types with only his index fingers. That's an interesting detail.
What an incredible adventure this turned out to be.
Granted, probably easier to animate.
Jenny's growing up and discovering her full potential. And to think, I did it all without anybody dying.
Ha 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 ha! Oh, I didn't even pick up on that.
Hello? Richard! Oh, what do you think of the new scenes? Aren't they wonderful? I beg your pardon?
Uh-oh.
Trick you? Certainly not. But don't you see? It all works out perfectly this way. I can already picture where the next book will start. You're not serious? But...
Uh-oh.
I didn't promise anything. But... there must be another way. Just give me more time. Cancelled? Richard, please.
Holy shit.
Richard? Hello? Hello? It's no good. They won't publish it unless someone dies.
Uh-oh.
But I can't do it. I just can't. Come on, Arthur. Jenny's whole world hangs in the balance. Decades of work. It can't all end now. Oh, I have to.
Who's it gonna be?
It's like Jenny's mom always says. A great detective knows the right decision is often the hardest to make. And I am a great author of detective stories. But I can't pick. What should I do, Rufus?
Huh? Come on, Rufus.
Brilliant! Yes! You're always right, old friend. I'll let fate decide.
Oh, fuck. And by fate, I'm assuming he means
Here goes.
us. Is the final decision? Who dies? Oh my god. Oh shit. I feel like it would be kind of lame if Dean Strasberg, from like a storytelling perspective, for him to actually die at the end. Though it could be kind of interesting, like, guy tries to fake his own death, but then ends up actually dying. I guess that could actually be kind of cool. I don't want Ginny to die. First of all, because the whole point of this, everything he's doing is to keep the series going. So, like, how does the series keep going if Ginny dies? I just also don't think it would be very satisfying. Ginny's mom dying feels unnecessarily cruel. I don't know. I don't feel like... I can't think of any, like, reasons within the story that that would be justified. It would be more shocking, I think. If you want to look at it from, like, Richard's perspective, I think killing off Ginny's mom would be more... He would probably find that more exciting. I'm leaning towards the Dean, I don't know. Three fates hang in the balance. Just like Sonic Underground. I honestly, I think if I were playing this in my own time, I almost feel like I would, I probably would like actually just roll a dice and pick, and then I would just look up the other endings or whatever. But since I'm not, and also since, I mean, we've been made our own choices so far, even when maybe I regretted it right after. I'm gonna go with the Dean. Choose victim. That's kind of fucked. All right, Dean. Wait, can you pick more than one? Huh.
Fate has spoken, but is she certain? Once the choice is made, there's no turning back.
If this were like a game where I was playing on an emulator and I could save state, I would save state and see if you could just pick all three. I'm assuming it probably just erases the other one and it changes it because they want you to be able to change your mind. But yeah, now I'm going with the Dean. The final decision.
Well, that was easier than I thought. It's the only way this scene can end. The ending the book deserves.
Which one did you pick, Knifing? I'm kind of curious. Ginny,
As I
really?
was saying,
That's surprising coming from you.
What was that?
no more interruptions.
The tremors were getting more violent and more frequent.
Please, I'm in the middle of my astonishing
The
denouement.
only way I could see the Ginny thing working out for Arthur is if it's like another fake out where she's not actually dead. Like at the start. Granted, I guess I will give you that. The story opens up with Ginny LeClue died or whatever. So fair enough. I don't know.
Everyone in town thinks CJ is crazy. A madman spouting wild theories about aliens and hidden forces at work in Arthurton.
I stand by my thing though, that I feel like, I don't know.
But all the
Maybe I'll
strange
change my
phenomena
mind when I
he's
go
seen
watch them
are
all.
real. And the culprits are men, not monsters.
So true. Alright. What do I know about Arthurton's secret history? Definitely this. It's definitely that one. The Council of Three.
Arthurton is built on top of some kind of energy source. Something special. I uncovered the secret laboratories of Professor Zazer. He ran experiments to study the unique properties of Arthurton's resource, and his research was funded by a shady organization called the Council of Three. One of the experiments went tragically wrong and caused the collapse of the quartz mines. They covered it up and blamed the miners, and yet the experiments didn't stop. Instead, they built an even bigger facility. Years after the accident in the mines, an even greater tragedy struck Arthurton. Only this time, the townspeople didn't know. I don't fully understand it, but something happened to the whole town. And wherever we were, we aren't there anymore. The rest of the world think we disappeared.
Almost like there's three important families.
At first, I thought I was solving two separate mysteries. But then it hit me like a ton of used books. The two were inextricably linked. And that's how
Like
I know the
Oracle of
motive for
Ages and
staking the
Seasons.
king's death.
What was the motive? Find Zazer? I don't remember what was on. Oh, that was just his like thingy. That's right. Do you know about that? I guess I don't know. I'm gonna say it's these two.
Dad wasn't working for the university. He was working on Zazer's machines. All under the watchful eye of the Council of Three. The Dean is part of the Council of Three, or at least he works for them. Through her own investigation, Mom concluded that Dad had died under suspicious circumstances.
Yes,
She confronted
yes.
the Dean. Racked with guilt, he confessed and begged for her forgiveness. Instead of letting anger cloud her judgment, Mom saw an opportunity. And together, you concocted a plan to bring down the organization from the inside.
Oh, what a brilliant mind you have, Jenny LeClue. Julie, I believe you underestimated this girl.
I got another achievement.
You could have gotten yourself killed.
But I didn't.
But what if you had?
I'm not a kid anymore. I have to make my own choices.
A flower cannot blossom without light.
Jenny had risked everything to save her mum.
I'm sorry, Jenny.
Accept apology.
It's okay, Mom. You were running out of time to save Mr. Strasberry.
I was trying to protect you.
Oh, he's running out of time, all right. Honestly, I'm kind of like running it through my brain of like if I'm satisfied with picking the Dean, but honestly, the more I think about it, I think if I were writing this, I I think I would have killed the dean if I had to
I know.
pick. Like if this were D&D or something.
I should have trusted you.
But you were wrong.
I just apologized.
No, not about that. Everyone presumed Dad died in the lab explosion.
Uh-huh.
So did I. Until today. But then, I started finding secret messages all over
It's all
town.
coming together, baby.
They led me to a secret room under the graveyard. And there, on a small television, I saw him.
Henry?
Yep.
Dad is alive! But he's trapped on the other side, and he's been trying to contact us this whole time.
He made it back?
He did.
Then the experiment worked!
Exactly!
But if he made it back, that means...
We can all get back!
Well, let's hope so.
We need to get to the machine. Right away.
No! First, we need to find Professor Zazer.
Wherever he may be. Uh-oh. What's going on down there? Yow. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Uh-oh. Select wisely. Blue? All three at once? What's up, Cardboard? What's behind door number 3? The end of the game is very, very, tense. I have to say. Holy shit. I feel like a lot of video games don't actually make me feel like I have to question my choices, because at the end of the day, oh god, I know I can always look up the alternate routes, but holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy shit. God damn. All right. So that implies that you knew that Ginny was going to get sent to the other side, though, which I did not. Oh, you didn't? Oh, the way you said that implied that you, like, knew ahead of time. Whole starts and ends on her death. Ah, that's fair. I think that is very fitting. But I would have killed off the dean if it were me. Is there? Oh shit, there we go. Did the switches at the end actually change anything? Oh, cool. Well, I guess I can look that up. Well, neat. It's a good game. I liked it. Very fun. Very fun story. Very curious to see what they have planned for the sequel. I see, I see. The end. Finished the game. Amazing. Scene select. What's this do? I see. Interesting. Cool. I don't think we picked up any gallery stuff that time, actually. There was not much left to do. Oh wait. I should check. What did we end up with? Alright, we ended up as a CEO. Okay, well there you go. That is that. Neat. Realist emotional planner. Nice. We also, I don't think we got all of the, yeah, we only got 2 of the things for that last one there. Which means I missed a bunch later on. Oh, I didn't realize they had stuff on the back. Rod, vacation was worth the wait. Fishing season is in full swing here, and boy, are they big. Check out some of my bounty. I've decided to leave Joanna and the kids, quit the factory, and pursue my lifelong dream of becoming a full-time fishmonger. Join me, Marlon. Hey sis, you'd love it here. It always feels like fall. Junior year has been a real whirlwind. I'm having a hard time with my dissertation. Tip, don't major in ancient Arthurtonian culture. So I went to the museum for inspiration. Found some really beautiful jewelry. Give Petey a big hug for me. Did he like the bone I sent him? XOXO Gemma. Oop, shit. Boop, boop, boop. Hi, Mom. Summer camp is going great. We took a field trip to the observatory last night. I've never seen so many stars. Ricky knew all the constellations. He's so smart and super cute. And he held my hand. Don't worry. He's only 2 years older than me. Please don't tell Dad. I miss you all so much. Love, Stella. Interesting. I guess I can look up what the last one was. Somewhere else. The dean just disintegrated? I like that that's the last note. I see, I see. Well, neat. Assume scene select doesn't let you, like, start from that point, does it? Well, yeah, that's fair. Or does it only let you watch the...
Oh, this is... What an incredible adventure. He's growing up, and to think, I did it all without anybody
to see.
dying. Hello? Richard! Oh, what do you think of the new scenes?
Game saved when I loaded this, so if this lets you pick up at specific points, then I'm just gonna...
Will start. You're not serious, but... I didn't promise anything, but...
I want to see.
There must be a... Just give me more time.
Because I was going to look him up anyway, so...
Richard, please. Richard? Hello? Hello? It's no good.
May as well do them live on stream.
Someone dies. But I can't do it.
Although I feel like thinking about it, I guess...
Come on, Arthur. Jenny's whole world hangs in the balance. Decades of work. It can't
not much really changes.
Oh,
it just...
I have to.
It just changes who
It's like
disappears at the
Jenny's mom
end. But I do want
always
to pull a
says.
different lever.
A great detective knows the right decision is often the hardest to make. And I am a great author of detective stories. But I can't pick. What should I do, Rufus?
I kind of wish there was like a way to like speed through
Brilliant.
these though.
You're always right, old friend. I'll let fate decide.
It's kind of always been an issue with story-heavy games. Is like going back through them to do specific parts of the game
Here
again
goes.
can be a whole thing, even when it lets you chapter pick like this. Okay. Jenny LeClue. Detectivu. I wouldn't be that surprised if this was like
Fate
the
has
canon
spoken.
one,
Once
though.
the choice is made, there's no turning back.
Oh, this is an easy way to get the achievements. Cool.
Wait, Jenny wasn't an option?
Yeah,
Was she?
I was kind of thinking when
Oh,
he
Rufus, I
rode
think
through
I
the
need
circle
to
the
lie
first
down.
time. Oh, I do like that his dialogue changed actually. The first time he did that, I was like,
As I was saying,
what if you just drew on the desk, sir?
What was that?
no more interruptions.
The tremors were getting more violent and more
Okay,
frequent.
let's see.
Please, I'm in the middle of my astonishing denouement. Everyone in town thinks
Okay.
CJ is crazy. A madman spouting wild theories about aliens and hidden forces at work in Arthurton. But all the strange phenomena he's seen are real. And the culprits are men,
I'm gonna
not
pick
monsters.
the red lever this time. Arthurton's secret history. Bop. Bop. I think they're in a different order this time. I could be wrong. Probably not. Probably just remembering wrong.
Arthurton is built on top of some kind of energy source. Something special. I uncovered the secret laboratories of Professor Zazer. He ran experiments to study the unique properties of Arthurton's resource, and his research was funded by a shady organization called the Council of Three. One of the experiments went tragically wrong and caused the collapse of the quartz mines.
Yes,
They
yes,
covered it
yes.
up and blamed the miners. And yet the experiments didn't stop. Instead, they built an even bigger facility. Years after the accident in the mines, an even greater tragedy struck Arthurton. Only this time, the townspeople didn't know. I don't fully understand it, but something happened to the whole town. And wherever we were, we aren't there anymore. The rest of the world think we disappeared. At first, I thought I was solving two separate mysteries. But then it hit me
Pretty
like a ton
big
of
thing
used
to cover
books.
up too.
The two were
but-
inextricably linked.
I feel like it can kind of work in a weird way
And
for a
that's how I know
children's
your motive for
story
staging
where
the
you would
Dean's death.
the characters would never leave town. They would always just have wacky adventures in town. All right.
Dad wasn't working for the university. He was working on Zazer's machines. All under the watchful eye of the Council of Three. The Dean is part of the Council of Three, or at least he works for them. Through her own investigation, Mom concluded that Dad had died under suspicious circumstances. She confronted the Dean, confessed, and begged for her forgiveness.
It's not just a why don't they go somewhere else for a change thing. They can't, yeah.
Instead of letting anger cloud her judgment, Mom saw an opportunity. And together, you concocted a plan to bring down the organization from the inside.
Oh, what a brilliant mind you have, Jenny LeClue. Julie, I believe you underestimated this girl.
You could have gotten yourself killed.
But I didn't.
But what if you had?
I'm not a kid
Shouldn't play
anymore.
this out the
A
same.
flower cannot blossom without light.
Jenny had risked everything to save her mom.
I'm sorry, Jenny.
Pop.
It's okay, Mom. You were running out of time to save Mr. Strasberry.
I was trying to protect you.
Kind of weed out the option for Jenny LeClue and Scooby-Doo too.
I know.
Mayhaps. Since they put to be continued at the end,
I should have trusted you.
we're presumably getting a sequel. I have to
you were
wonder
wrong.
where that's going to pick up. Maybe. Welcome to the end of the game.
No, not about that.
Well, we already beat it, actually. For another year.
Dad died in a lab explosion. So did I, until today.
So happy birthday.
Then, I started finding secret messages all over town. They led me to a secret room under the graveyard. And there, on a small television, I saw him.
Henry?
Dad is alive! But he's trapped on the other side, and he's been trying to contact us this whole time.
The twist was that science experiments caused the town to warp to another dimension, but our dad somehow made it back to the original dimension.
Then the experiment worked!
Now, somehow, maybe we can bring everyone else back.
But if he made it back, that means...
We can all get back! We need to get to the machine.
There were a lot of twists, actually, but it's like the final one, I guess.
First, we need to find Professor Zazer.
All right. We're gonna do number 1 this time. I don't know if it makes any difference. What's behind door X? It does give you different achievements, I guess. Okay. Boom. Kaboom. All right. Well, okay. Doesn't seem like it did anything different. I guess, I don't know. Easy achievements. It's always something. Anyway, all right, cool. Well then, yeah. There we go. We beat it. Neat. All right. Cool. Well then, that's it. Easy game to achievement hunt. It does seem that way, considering it lets you go back to like specific parts of the game. That's kind of neat, I guess. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, we did it. Good game. Let's see. Let me pull up. We already saw the credits, so. All right. Let's put this on the list. Bam. All right. It sure does. Detectivu. Guess Jenny LeClue is the series name. I guess because we're getting a sequel. Does make me wonder if it's gonna be one of those games where you can have your like previous stuff carry over. That would be cool. Okay. Yep. Pretty high up, I would say. Okay. Here we go. Okay. We'll start at 50. Is it better? Resident Evil 2. Yes. It's better than Delta Room Chapter 1. Yeah. I'd say so. Not chapter 2, or even close. Chapter 1. Yes. Yep. Yep. Better than Hat Time. Bag Outside was the second game, so yes. Better than, or Milk Outside a Bag of Milk, outside a bag of milk. Buck Snacks? That one's a little tougher. Yeah, I'd say so. Near Replicant. Is it better than Near Replicant? Trying to think. Yeah, I would say so, just because Nier definitely had parts where it dragged on a bit. ED Streamer Overload. It's been a long time since we played a game that managed to like get up this high. Well, since we played the original Spyro, I guess. Yes, better than ED Streamer. Better than Metal Gear Solid 1. I would not put it above Ghost Trick, personally. So it's really, now it's just a matter of if I would put it above or below Metal Gear Solid. Decisions. I don't know. Let me think. Okay. I feel like it's hard to say because, like, I feel like I almost want to give Metal Gear Solid extra points because, like, I feel like the story would have been more impactful to play through if I hadn't already played all the games that came after. But I did, so I guess, you know, it is what it is. I can't rate games based on how they could have been otherwise. So I'm going to say just barely beats Metal Gear Solid 1. So Jenny LeClue comes in at number 42. How fitting that it rhymes with her name. All right, cool. Bam. And that is game number 160 that we have beaten on stream. Cool. Getting something up in the upper 50s does kind of make me think, like, the more games we play, I feel like the harder it's going to be to, like, rank up this high. It's not something I usually even thought about, but it's kind of make me wonder, like, I don't know. Like, we could play, technically, we could end up playing the next game that ranks as high sometime this year, or it could be like years from now. And then what are the odds of, like, a game, you know, making the top 20 or even the top 10? The only game I can think of that the sequel, I mean, maybe whenever that comes out, it could get up even higher. But I was in the same vein, the only game I can really even think of that comes to mind that I own or plan to play in the future would be the next Deltarune chapters. Or at least in terms of games that, like, I'm like, oh yeah, I could see that making it up here. Otherwise, like, I don't have any belief that Tales of Arise will beat out Berseria. I don't even think it'll beat out Symphonia, honestly. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm mostly basing that off of people who have been like, oh, Tales of Arise doesn't have a great story. But I might disagree. I don't know. Yeah, because like a lot of the games up in the top, if we do top 20, it's like mostly games like, you know, Wind Waker and Kingdom Hearts 2 and Twilight Princess and Mario 64, Thousand Year Door, Majora's Mask, you know, games that I played when I was a kid and I'm very nostalgic for, or games like Deltarune Chapter 2, Snake Eater, Fallout New Vegas, Portal 2, you know, Emily's Way to Disco Elysium, like games with really good writing and stories. Helltaker, you know. Like when I actually stop and try to think like how there's like a very real chance that like definitely with like the top 10, it's just like, you know, am I gonna play like any RPGs that are on par with, you know, Thousand Year Door or Deltarune for me, or New Vegas even. Not gonna lie, sometimes I kind of forget. I almost don't really categorize Fallout as an RPG, even though it absolutely is, just because it's like a shooter first and an RPG second in my head. I also usually kind of think of like turn-based RPGs. But anyway, like, I don't know, like, you know, kind of crazy to think about. Like, because again, technically 10 years from now, everything in the top 10 could have potentially dropped down out of the top 10, as though there is like that possibility. But there's also the chance that like they'll never move, which is interesting to think about. You shoot, they shoot. It's as turn-based as it gets. Well, ideally you shoot and they don't shoot, I would say. I think that's usually the idea. That's why so many people play stealth archers in Bethesda games. But even stuff like Gudumine, Kirby Star Allies, the first Phoenix. Actually, you know what? Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney is up in 24. There's a fairly real chance that one of the other Ace Attorney games is going to get higher than the original. So that is a possibility actually. Because we have a bunch of those to play. I don't know what's considered like the best Ace Attorney game by the fandom. But like, I don't know. It's kind of crazy to think about, I guess. Because like, and in the same vein, am I gonna ever play any games? Crazy. Hey Don, am I ever gonna play any games that are as bad as Yeek and Evangelion 64? Yeah. Are we ever gonna have like? I'm sure they exist. I mean, they do, but it's not a matter of if they exist. It's a matter of if I'm gonna play them. Because, you know, there's like a bajillion to the 40 bajillionth power games I could play, but I won't get to play them all. So it's a matter of which ones I get to. And then there's other interesting things like, well, things like Dark Cloud, where it's like I was super nostalgic for this game, but I ended up getting to the end and being like, I'm almost kind of glad I didn't grow up with it. Because it was super disappointing. Brazilian games. Brazilian Miku? Hatsune Miku. And there's games like Kodelka, where it's like it was a pretty good game, like nothing amazing, but it was like a very cool idea, and the ending sort of just was such a wet fart that it really brought the game down for me. I think a big part of Kodelka's thing is the fact that a very easily missable item gets you the bad end. And I'm sure tons and tons of people played this when they were back in the day. And yeah, a rare enemy drop. Yeah, from an enemy that I didn't see despite getting into probably like 15 different encounters in that area. Rare drop from rare enemy, exactly, yeah. Why would I know to do that? That almost feels like one of those like, well, guess you gotta buy the guidebook, idiot, kind of deals. I almost kind of want to go through these. Hold on, because we have games like Neon Genesis 64 and Yeek, which are terrible for different reasons. DMC2, which is just a poorly made game. There's defenders of that game, but there's defenders of Yeek, so that doesn't mean anything. FF8, you know, going from one of my favorite games of all time, number 11, to one of my least favorite games of all time. Man. The Wild Thornberrys movie for Game Boy Advance, which is an interesting one because that is a game I grew up with. But it sure isn't a good game. Things like Saturday Morning RPG, like indie games that just aren't good. And like there was a lot of effort put into it, clearly, but it just was not a good game. Super Mario Bros. Lost Levels was interesting. That's just, I feel like that was more a case of like going back and playing old retro games, and it was okay. It was, yeah. And that was true for FF8, where it was good up until like late disc 1 or early disc 2, somewhere in there. Yeah, Super Mario Bros. Lost Levels. I feel like there's a lot of NES games that if I went back and played, I just wouldn't like them, to be fair, so that one's not very surprising. I think there's also a reason that we ended up getting a different game over here. I feel like Hylix was disappointing because I thought I would like that a lot more. Nightmare of Druaga was just a really frustrating RPG. Dokapon Kingdom is a terrible, terrible game. But at least I had V there with me for that. FF10, I just don't... Bad game, nice hangout. Exactly. Yeah. Did they? We didn't really get much of the Druaga games. That's what I hear. Most of the Druaga games are Japan only, so I wouldn't know. Never forget the aliens. Never forget the aliens, indeed. They shoved shit up my ass, and it was great. Dot Hack, which was also one of those, like, this is a nostalgic thing, so it was disappointing that it was such a, like, not fun game. Mega Man 2, did not like Mega Man 2. I honestly forget that I played Mega Man 2 a lot. I don't know. I would have really thought that I would have liked it more, honestly, because I've always felt like people I've always gotten the vibe that people like Mega Man 2 way more than Mega Man 1, but I definitely had the opposite opinion. Class of 09 was disappointing. Yeah. I thought I would like that a lot more, but yeah, oh well. Yeah, Mega Man is, or OG Mega Man series is fairly frustrating games. And they're definitely some of those like old, they kind of go back to the thing of NES games where it's like, I'd really only am willing to beat this game if I can use save states. Otherwise, I would not put in the effort. Castle of Shikigami was just like a very boring shmup. Sand Aquarium was fun for like the first world, and then I feel like, I don't know, I just remember it feeling like it expected a lot out of you when you started getting into the later bits. It was just very frustrating. Also, I remember hurting my hand. Like I remember ending the final stream and like just I think during the last stream of that I was like, if I can't beat it within a certain amount of tries, I have to stop for the day because my hand is gonna like hurt really bad if I don't. Let's see. Spyro 2 was disappointing, very disappointing. Spyro 1's such a good game. Spyro 1 to Spyro 2 was very similar to FF7 to FF8, actually. Because I'd always thought that Spyro was one of those... I always have gotten the impression that the general opinion was that Spyro 1 was good, Spyro 2 was better, and Spyro 3 was the best. and then everything after that sucked. But now I'm convinced that Spyro 1 is the best, and it just went downhill immediately. I don't really remember a lot about Spyro 3, to be fair. I did have it as a kid, but let's see, Mario Sunshine. I've always kind of known that I've had this game since I was a kid. This has always been a game from day one that I considered like, yeah, you play it for like 3-4 hours and then you drop it because the last half of the game sucks. Which I've noticed the more games I play, that is not an uncommon thing for the later half of the game to feel like rushed and less interesting than like the first half. Seems to happen a lot. FF2 was just, I don't know, a pretty whatever RPG, I guess. Injustice, it was a fighting game. I mean, it was honestly, I liked it a little bit more than I thought I would, since I'm not like super into like comics. I know some characters and stuff. And it was a fighting game. The story is better than the game. That's a good way to put it. I think it would, if it had a less interesting story or no story at all, like how a lot of fighting games are, where they have very little story and it's just go from fight to fight to fight, I think it would have been a 2 probably. Fidelka I already talked about. Sort of Etheria was interesting because it was like one of the mini PS2, you know, beat 'em up Devil May Cry type games. Or, you know, action beat 'em up, yada yada. But the story was not great. I mean, I guess part of that was because there was a whole thing where you had to like do a bunch of side stuff to get the real ending. But if I remember right, when you beat the game, it locks you from going back, and you'd have to do a full playthrough. But like while you're playing the game, you can go back and redo levels, which is a weird way to do it because like you wouldn't know that there's a secret ending you have to go back and do extra stuff to unlock until you beat the game. So why lock you out of going back after you find out that you didn't get the secret ending or the true ending or whatever? Alice Man was just kind of like, I don't know, a sort of whatever walking sim RPG maker game. I do have this sequel, spiritual successor, I don't know, Light, I think it is. Breath of the Wild has always just been, I mean, I would, if we had actually played through all of Tears of the Kingdom would be lower, but Breath of the Wild has always been very, more like Breath of the Mild. I don't know, it's always been like a bit of a disappointment for me. It's weird to look back at like when Skyward Sword came out and being like, Skyward Sword is not great, and nowadays I'm like, I would probably do a full playthrough of Skyward Sword again before I would do a full playthrough of Breath of the Wild again. Dragon Quest was okay. I don't know. I'm sure the later ones are better. Dragon Quest, I think a lot of my issues with Dragon Quest are that it was a JRPG before JRPGs really had been around long enough to really start to innovate and do more interesting things. You know, one of those things where I think Dragon Quest is one of those games where the further back in time you play it, the closer to its release that you actually played it, the better it would be. And Suikoden 3 was good. I didn't like the last like third of the game though. So, you know, another one of those. Danganronpa was I don't know. I remember liking it more when I watched the anime, but I think part of that is because I was probably a lot edgier because I was a bit younger when I watched the anime. But I have heard the second game is better, so eventually we'll play it, and I don't know, we'll see. Frog is of Interest to the Frog. It's just like a whatever platformer. I don't know. I really only even played it because I grew up with this and the other one of the other Game Boy Advance Froggers. Castlevania was hard. I don't know. It's one of those like really hard NES games that I would not bother beating without save states. Super Mario Bros. Same deal. I mean, there's like a level cheat or whatever, or like a button combination you can do, I guess. So you wouldn't really need save states, but still. I don't know. I'm not gonna go through all these, but you get the idea. Looking at all these games at the bottom, or these games at the top, I feel like every time we play a game, like the midsection here expands, but it's not often we get games that like really like break into like the top 20 or top 30 even, or like the bottom 20. Like I feel like if I will say, I think it would, if I for some reason wanted to, I think it would be a lot easier to pick a game I wouldn't like that would end up down here. Not that I would purposefully do that, but you know. It's a lot easier to play bad games than it is to find these good games, but I feel like that's what makes it exciting when you play a game. And it is like one of these up here, you know. But anyway, that's the end of that. Yeah, cool. All right, so next week, when in doubt if the sequel took forever. Oh, for Ginny, yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's already been 5 years, so I wouldn't expect it to take like another decade or something. But you know, if it doesn't come out anytime soon, I'm not gonna like be too bothered. But yeah, next week, so I decided we're gonna start Tales of Arise on Tuesday. Just go ahead and start. Wednesday we're gonna read some Nintendo Power. Thursday night I'm gonna be playing Mario Party 2 with V, Burner, and Lena. Friday, more Tales of Arise, and Sunday more Tales of Arise. So Tales of Arise is the next, you know, main game we're gonna be playing. We're gonna see if it's one of the better Tales games or one of the lesser bad ones, because there are a couple of those. Even though I feel like we've only played good ones, it's been a very enjoyable series so far. I almost kind of want it to be bad, if only so I could say, oh shit, we found one of the bad ones. But if it's good, then awesome. That would also be cool. We'll see. I don't know. So yeah. Cool. That's it for me then. So possibly, yeah. I feel like that's me if it's really good or really bad. So yeah, cool. BPR, go follow Ringo, my artiste, very cool, very epic. And yeah. Here's my message. I don't know if we're rating it. I didn't even look. I normally would not be ending, you know, in the middle of the day like this. So I have to actually check if anyone's even there may not even be anyone to raid. I actually don't know. Okay, no. We'll go raid Gerude. He's playing Elden Ring with DK bongos. All right, cool. Then yeah, that's it for me. So thanks for coming out. Have a good day, good night, whatever it's you, and I'll see you next stream. Mwah.